Well, hello everybody, and I just want to start out saying it's such a blessing and an honor to be asked to do this. I feel very humble, and I'm very nervous because now we're up to 100, and this is my largest group so far. But I am just going to. I have a long story, and I will try to be as brief as I can. But to get my point across, you need some details because I'm 72 years young and my issues go back to age 3. So I am going to dip back there for a little bit. There's one big lesson I'd like to share with everybody, and I use it all the time, and maybe some of the new people would benefit. Dr. Dyer once said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I know when I first heard about this technology, I'm like, oh my gosh, not another one. And I've been in other things, and some went well and some didn't. But thanks to my teammates and dear friends, Malik and Julie, I knew I could trust them. So I said, why not? I have this long history. My favorite boost is digestion. That's where I get the most results. Now, I've tried many like sleep, I get results from energy, focus, calm, stress relief, gut health, detox. I mean, I've never not received a benefit. But I started with digestion because at the end of December, all during December 2019, I could hardly leave the house because so much liquid was pouring out of my body. And for you to understand how traumatic that is, I'm a caregiver of my husband. This is my 9th year. And it started in 2012 when he broke his neck and he's had brain surgeries. He's got water on the brain, a shunt, sepsis with a back surgery. It just goes on, and now Parkinson's. So he hardly can walk now, and we're waiting for the electric wheelchair. So I've been groomed for this position of caregiving since I'm 3 years old. Because what happened then, I lived with my grandparents, and I wound up in a hospital with a huge stomach ache. And it was going along with my daily routine. Like I would sneak out the side of the house and go upstairs where they live, pull myself up with the railing because I couldn't reach the steps too well, and go take care of my grandma and grandpa. And I loved them dearly because their eyes would light up when I walked in the room. And then at the evening time, my mom would like pat me on my bottom, scoot me down the steps to into the dark basement to break up their fights because I lived with some real serious alcoholism all my life. Grandparents, parents, aunts, and uncles. So I learned how to internalize all the anxiety and the stress in my stomach. So at age 3, I was rushed to the hospital with severe pain, had to spend the night. It was not appendicitis, and they couldn't figure out what it was. So I got home, and just had to deal with it. Um, all through elementary school, high school, everything. When I was a little girl, I would run to the woods behind the house with a book and a blanket because I could kind of detox and stress relief there. Um, I'm a retired teacher. I had 2 FMLAs during my 30 years of teaching because of digestive issues. In the 70s, I had a 6-hour exploratory. My stomach blew up, and when it blows up, it's hard as a rock. It looks like if you put a pin to it, it would deflate. And you scream all night with pain, even though they give you tons of morphine. And I went into surgery, and they couldn't find anything. The best guess was maybe a kidney stone that was released during anesthesia. During my first pregnancy, gallbladder attack, and they couldn't take it out because I would have lost the baby in my life. So that healed. Um, while I was teaching, 2 back-to-back bowel obstruction surgeries where they took out 18 inches of my colon. hysterectomy. When they would go in later for the hysterectomy, they would send in my regular surgeon to remove a lot of the scar tissue, because that's what happens when you have surgery when you're young. And the thing about a bowel obstruction, which I still deal with today, is the scar tissue grows and moves around your intestines and squeezes it shut. So I still get partial obstructions, but I've learned what to do. But let's fast forward to 2019. I had so much stress and anxiety taking care of my husband alone with no help, no relatives. I just couldn't eat anything. Whatever I ate went right through me within minutes or seconds. And I got so weak, and it actually created kind of a heart problem I had to deal with last year. And so when Malik and Julie, were telling their stories, I thought, well, I haven't tried this. And if I change the way I look at all this whole situation, maybe I'll experience change. And guess what? I believe in the custom thing. I run that all the time, but I like to run scans on everything or as much as I can, because I want those percentages. I want to know what my body is requiring the most. And then I study my history and I see what's improved and makes me feel wonderful. And then I tackle another issue. So I put on this digestion, and it wasn't instantaneous results, but they were quick, because right away I started feeling better. And I'm sure that was also related to the custom Spark Scan Boost. But the funny thing happened. I've been walking around for like months looking like I'm going to deliver twins. And I'm 72, and you can imagine how embarrassing that is. I mean, I would start buying these big tops and hide my profile because I didn't want my friends to make fun of me. And the first thing that happened is that my stomach deflated, and it became as soft as Jell-O and very spongy. And I thought, wait a minute, what is this? It's not snake oil, I'm sure, because it wouldn't be that powerful. And of course, I study daily on what is quantum energy, because I taught English. I'm not a scientist, so don't ask me to explain quantum energy. I just cannot, but I believe in it. And the nausea disappeared. I used to constantly feel like I was going to vomit. The anxiety started calming down, and then I learned to use calm and sleep and stress relief. And I got rid of 3 prescriptions. I used to live on nausea medicine. In the 80s, back in the days when you had to have a prescription for paregoric because your children had ear infections, I put them in the car, and then I'd go back in the house and I'd take a swig of their paregoric so I could calm my stomach down so I could go teach. And otherwise, it was impossible to function. So I'm talking about years and years of pain and agony that I just learned to put up with. And this quantum energy approach it just blows my mind, because since I've been in it since January, I've learned to change my thinking about many, many things, and about all the possibilities that are out there, and that what I'm worthy of, and that I can welcome abundance in my life. So I've been able to improve my finances. I've been able to lose weight, which was impossible with this digestion issue. I recently lost 8 pounds. And the thing that's going on is, I really believe when Ron Spence starts talking about the conscious versus the subconscious, when I go shopping now, I spend a half hour in produce. I don't even go down the aisles where the GMO foods are all packaged up. And my husband can sit and eat 4 donuts in front of me, and I don't want one. And I used to focus on being a single parent. Oh, I forgot that. I was a single parent for 20 years. So yes, that did bring on stress. And I always had to run back in the house after I put the kids in their seats and go to the bathroom one more time, and it just drove everybody crazy. But I got through all of that. I got through 2 divorces. now I've got this teddy bear of a husband, but he's losing his health. But it's okay because we have some really prime time together every day. We have a big long talk for about an hour in the morning with coffee, and I'm able to put him on many of the boosts, and he's receiving, some help too. So when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change because I've experienced with quantum energy, I can turn my whole life around. And I have never felt this well in 72 years. I have never been this happy and peaceful. Now, do I have bad days? Yes, I can slip and go back into the abandonment issues that you grew up with alcoholism. I can get stressed, but I know what to do, and it only lasts a short time, and I can bring myself back to center. And I'm so looking forward to learning how to better combine the boosts and create my own as I study my boost history better, because I have 8 grandchildren and I have a full life to live, and they live all over the place, so I've got to travel, and I want to earn as much money as I can possibly earn so that I can give half of it away like Tony Robbins does. And that's the exciting part about, I used to think money was evil because that's what I was taught, and what do you think? We have a money tree growing in the backyard, and so I knew I better not ask for too much money. But now I'm entitled, it's my birthright, and I just want to help people. And if I could ever figure out this crazy caregiving schedule and get more help in here so I can hide in my office and engage with more people and share this beautiful technology with all those people out there who are hurting. And I know digestion's a big issue, and we don't talk about it because who wants to talk about your poop? It's kind of embarrassing, but it's out there. And stress is a big trigger. And so thank God for calm. Thank God for this community, which I plan to participate in more and more. Thank God for my other community. And thank God for quantum energy.